Hi guys, let's talk about embellishments. Now this video is going to be more just talking about them because there's so many variations you can do. And I think what I'll do is, as I do colour alongs and so on, I'll do little mini tutorials for different bits. So I'm going to talk about a couple of the pens that I use for embellishing, and then show you a couple of pictures, ones that you haven't seen yet. Just to illustrate what you can do, because I've already mentioned it in other videos going on. So my go-to, I have a couple of go-to pens. I definitely, for doing dots and so on, I have these four pens. This is a silver, gold and white, and they are Uniball Signo. Hopefully you can see that. They're just gel pens. This one is a white one. You can just buy them in, singles. The silver is the one I probably use the most, followed by the gold. And then the white works well on darker colours and markers, that it picks up the marker. And then this one I've mentioned before. This is a hybrid metallic glitter pen, silver. So there is a bit of a silver highlight, but it does go on quite clearish. I have just bought a pack of Crayola glitter pens, all various colours. I'm going to try some of those, but I do like using a bit of glitter now and then. These pens are really good, and particularly the metallic ones, because with markers, if you're not careful, they will soak up the pigment from the colour that you've put down. Whereas if you're using the metallic ones, the silver and the gold, they don't. So it looks like highlights on the picture. So the silver will come up very white and light, and the gold a little bit warmer. Putting them on and applying them is a bit of trial and error, depending on which gel pen you're using. But yeah, I'll show you a couple of pictures now, and then you can see how you use them. Not just dots. I do use dots all the time. This is a Hannah Colzon picture, and I did this one just to illustrate a couple of things. One is the little stars that I did with a line going down, so hanging stars in the picture. On all sides, because the background was very plain, and as I've said before, I love black backgrounds, but sometimes it can be quite intimidating when there's nothing there. So a great idea is to do it all black, and then I literally just drew a line with a ruler and little stars in the end. I use stars a lot, and I'll definitely do a little tutorial on that. And another couple of things I did, you see that star there? So I did a silver star in the middle, outlined it in gold, and then just did a few little stars and did a star trail behind it to give the impression that the star was going up, leaving the star trail. And I did one of those in the corner down here. One of the other things I tried on this one, which it worked quite well, was with a white gel pen, I actually outlined and went over the dark lines with the white. Now, as you can see, I'll just hold it up a bit closer to the camera. So as you can see, if you look really closely, the white has gone over, but it's also slightly picked up the pigments. So in parts of it, the lines look almost pinkish, and that's because of the markers on there. And the same with her hair. If you look really close with her hair, you can see really clear white, but also some of it's kind of picked up a little bit of the blue and the purple. But I actually quite like the effect. So it's definitely, just showing you the bird's face and so on. So it's definitely an effect. I haven't used it too much since, but yeah, it's something we can definitely do a colour along on and go through. So that's embellishing, adding not just the dots and so on that I normally do, which I've talked about, sort of you can see on the bird's feathers, but also in the background as well. Another Hannah one I wanted to show you was this one's from the Magical Dawn. So this is the owl face. Is it an owl? Oh, some kind of bird anyway. But this is another good illustration of where the background, again this is all markers, where the background was done in blue, and then I've really broken it up with all these little stars and little dots all over. I've done a little technique there. I'll show you the camera there by just doing small little circles. see on the material on the crown to give that kind of a rougher kind of effect. There is a bit of pencil here because I think I've used pencil by the look of it in there, so there is a bit of pencil on this one. But yeah, it was more for the background I wanted to show you with that one. So it breaks up. So embellishing or using little dots can really break things up. Here's a Joanna one that I did a while ago. And what I liked on this one, and hopefully if I bring it quite close and then get the lights, I'll have to move it round. I really like on this one with the stars that you don't really see too much until you move it and get the light, and you've got all these little dangly silver bits off the stars. Hopefully that's coming out in the video. I'll wrap it around. I think it is. Hopefully it is. But yeah, that's another way, and that's a way that pictures can change. Sometimes I'll put videos up on Instagram of my pictures because looking at it flat, photos don't always capture those sort of light effects with the glitter. Another one, another Joanna one. So not just with the dots, but with this one, it was a Christmas one I did. I actually Googled, I did a little Google on how to draw snowflakes. So if you see this one, I've done a couple in the white pen, Signo pen, and then I've also used the silver, which whilst it doesn't show up when it's flat, again, if you move it round, you can, you know, it sort of picks up in the light. On here as well, you'll notice things like the obvious things like the buttons on the little soldier is in silver, and there's some gold on the crown and on things like that. See, oh, and on his boots there's a little bit. So you can obviously embellish in that way as well for the more obvious things like belt buckles and so on. But yeah, I would definitely towards later on in the year. This is out of Joanna Basford's Christmas book, which is probably one of my favourite Christmas books. So I'm going to get another one because I've coloured so many of them. All the pages out the one I have, so I'm going to get another book and we'll definitely do a few of these. I added some trees in the background of this one just to bake, and you know, made some snow on the floor just to break it up. And as you can see on that one, if you can see the Merry Christmas, I've actually added the glitter. There you go, I've added the glitter so it does actually go shiny in the light. That's that kind of clearish kind of glitter pen I've got. It's actually slightly silver, but it's really not too silver at all. So that's another example where you can actually add in objects as such. One more again with a metallic one. So this is another Joanna Basford one. What I wanted to show you this one for, or I'll show you this one, is on some of Joanna Basford's illustrations, she has a lot of lines around things. And with this one, what I decided to do, and I think it's worked quite well, I've gone for a very dark colour on these edges, but then the outline, instead of doing another colour and dotting, I've done some dots. There's always dots. Always dots. Find a picture without dots, a Beck's picture without dots, and yeah, strange day indeed. Always dots. But anyway, on this one, I've actually filled in gold. So again, you can't really tell until you move it, but as I move it round, and you can see if you look on the bird's chest and on the end of the wings and so on, I'll just move it across while I'm moving it round. You know, the light catches it, and yeah, it looks really effective. So the metallic pens on top of pens. Now this one, I have actually used pencils on the background, and those are pencils. There's some fine liners in there, but I'll be doing pencils plus fine liners as well, because that's probably what I mainly do these days. The last one I want to show you on embellishing is another Joanna Basford. It's this one. It's out of the artist edition, which is a bit longer, so I'll just slide it on over, because I don't know how to zoom in and zoom out yet. Each video is getting better. I'll get there. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. But what I really wanted to show you on this one is the power of a fine liner to embellish over a pencil. So I know we've not talked about using pencils yet, but we will. So this one is really good. If you look close here, so there's pencils on the hills, but can you see all the little lines for the grass and so on? and we've got a little silver bit on the little door in the tree there. And I've done the same along here on this grass. On the tree, coloured the tree in pencil, and then gone over in lines to give sort of a bark effect on the tree to make that stand out. The leaves on that tree, by the way, those beautiful oranges and reds, they are fine liners. You really couldn't get that depth of colour with the with how little there is with anything other than a fine liner. And the owl's a fine liner, I remember doing him. So the little owl and all these are fine liners only. My fire tree, I think I called that. And then one that's also really good is the stones here. So these stones here, you see the little boulders going up, or the stones on the walkway, and also the wood on the door. You do pencil going down first very lightly, but all this detailing, all the little dots, all the little bits with the shadows and so on, are all extra bits with fine liners. It just gives you the ability to do some really fine detail that you just wouldn't get that effect with a pencil. You really wouldn't. So that's it really. I really don't want to go through too much or even illustrate too much, because I think some of it will naturally come out as we go through and do some tutorials, and some you sort of you just need to start having a bit of a play, and as you use your fine liners and stuff more and get more confident with them, and maybe combine them with your pencils as well, you will start to, you know, see things that you can add or do. Experimentation, trial and error, that's what it's all about. It's about just letting our creativity loose. So that's it. It's a very short video. I will be doing the colour along next. It'll be a Joanna Basford picture. I will just show you which one I've picked. So if you do have Secret, it's be out of the Secret Garden book, and I am going to do, unless I change my mind before tomorrow, but I don't think I will, I think I'm going to do this one, because it'll be really good to practice all the things we've talked about so far in the last few tutorials. So this is about probably 3/4 of the way through, maybe a bit more in the book. It's actually a 2-page one, but I'm only going to colour this page. It actually goes across all the way over to that page as well. But yeah, I'll just do this page. So hopefully you've got one, maybe you have this actual page free, or you have one similar. If it's not a Joanna Basford book, any book you have, just make sure you've got something, hopefully with some flowers, or you know, something with a bit of detail, a bit of space, so we can practice on doing a bit of background, some more detail on the flowers. You've got some, you know, because with flowers or lily pads as these are, you can use any colour you want really. Yeah, and we'll have some fun. So I will see you next time. Thanks guys. Bye.